wash away all my pain. Every time I think of you and what you do, it makes me happy, a joy I can't explain. Every time I call your name, Jesus, your love's incredible, and it's oh so marvelous. Jesus, your love's incredible, glorious, marvelous. Jesus, your grace is wonderful. You've been so good to us. Jesus, your love's incredible, glorious, marvelous. Like a little baby boy that's full of joy, I can feel you breaking away my chains and healing all my pain from yesterday. And when we both knew I was wrong, oh Lord, it wasn't long before you helped me. You wiped the shame from my face and gave me grace so I could say, ooh, Jesus, your love's incredible, incredible. It's so, so marvelous, marvelous. Jesus, your love's incredible, and it's, and it's, ooh, your grace is wonderful. You've been so good. Oh, your love's incredible, and it's, and it's, oh, it's so incredible, incredible. Your love is, your love is incredible, incredible. Your love, your love, your love is incredible. When my work is done, Lord, you're the one that I long for. Like a bride on a wedding day. Lord, today I say I do. And my days, they won't always be bright, but that's alright, 'cause now I see you. There's purpose even in my pain. And if you're loving, can you help me say, Jesus, your love's incredible. Hey, so marvelous, your love. It's been so good. Jesus, your love's incredible. like a covenant of old. Your love is enduring, shoulder weakness, and your strength becomes our own. Now you're making me like you, clothing me in white, bringing beauty from ashes. For you will have your bride, free from all her guilt and rid of all her shame, and known by her true name. And that's what I say. Ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. Your praise will ever be on my lips, ever be on my lips. You will be praised, you will be praised, with angels and saints we sing worthy are you, Lord. You will be praised, you will be praised, with angels and saints we sing worthy are you, Lord. You will be praised, you will be praised, be praised. We sing worthy, worthy are you, Lord. You will be praised, you will be You search and know, and still you wanna be close. There's no place I can't go away from you. You see my mistakes, yet your love for me never changes. I won't be afraid, your love is greater. You know my thoughts, you know my truth. My darkest nights still light to you. You know my thoughts, you know my truth. My darkest nights still light to you. Your love for me is so deep, it goes beyond my understanding. I come alive when I'm with you. You know who I am. You created me with your hands. Before time began, you had a plan for me. Your peace endures, and when I have less, you give more. Your desire for me is pure. Your love not insecure. You know my thoughts, you know my It's nice, still light to you.
Let's start over.
Okay, ya. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, Dios les bendiga.
God bless you.
Ahora sí empezó a tiempo. Es una gran bendición estar aquí en esta mañana
It's a blessing to be here this morning
con todos ustedes.
with all of you.
Y les queremos dar gracias a ustedes también
And we would like to thank all of you
por invertir en su ministerio.
for investing in your ministry.
Es muy importante invertir en nuestro ministerio.
It's important that we invest in our ministry.
Porque entre más invertimos,
The more we invest,
mejor nuestro trabajo.
the better our job will be.
Más excelencia a Dios.
We will be able to give God with more excellence.
Y Él merece todo lo mejor porque Él nos da lo mejor.
And He deserves the best because He gives us the best.
¿Cuántos pueden decir amén?
How many can say amen to that?
Gloria al Señor. Muchas gracias. Y en esta mañana
This morning,
les quiero comentar que esta conferencia
I would like to say that this conference
va a ser un poco diferente.
will be a little different.
La vamos a hacer en más aspecto taller.
It's going to be more like a workshop.
No va a ser, sí vamos a tener un momento de adoración,
We will have some time to worship,
pero mi intención en esta mañana
but my intentions for this morning
es que ustedes se lleven herramientas para que ustedes las puedan usar en sus iglesias locales.
is for you to have new tools to use in your local churches,
Que lo que ustedes están invirtiendo
that what you have invested this morning
valga la pena
will be worth it,
y que sea de bendición para ustedes,
and for it to be a blessing to your life,
para su iglesia
a blessing to your local
y
church,
para el reino de Dios.
for the kingdom of God.
Amén, gloria al
Amen.
Señor. Así que en esta mañana
So at this time,
me gustaría tomar este tiempo para hacer una oración
I'd like to open up with a prayer
para que el Señor bendiga este taller
so that God may bless this workshop,
y también ore por nuestros instructores.
and also so that we may pray for the instructors.
Amén, porque queremos que nos den todos los secretos. Amén.
We want to know all the secrets.
Queremos saberlo todo.
We want to know it all.
Amén. Vamos, si nos podemos poner de pie en
If we could all
reverencia.
stand in reverence.
And if you can give me some background music, just smooth worship music. Amen. Padre Santo, te damos gracias en esta mañana por permitirnos estar aquí, Señor, alabando y glorificando tu santo nombre. Te damos gracias por estos músicos y por estos cantantes que han creído en el llamado, Padre Santo, que han creído en invertir, Señor. Queremos que tú les bendigas, multiplica, Padre Santo, no solamente en lo espiritual y en lo musical, sino en sus finanzas, en su salud, en todo, Padre Santo. Queremos ver crecer a nuestras iglesias, queremos ver crecer a nuestros músicos y cantantes. Queremos, Padre Santo, que todo lo que aprendamos en esta mañana sea de bendición y lo podamos invertir en el reino de Dios, ya que lo que queremos en esta mañana es darte la honra y gloria solamente a ti, Padre Santo. Queremos glorificar tu santo nombre, queremos provocar la gloria de Dios en este lugar y en cualquier lugar que nosotros vayamos, que nuestras comunidades vean que hay un Dios que vive y que hay un Dios que reina, aleluya, y que aún establece milagros, aleluya, en el nombre de Cristo Jesús. Amén. Amén. ¿Cuántos están gozosos?
How many feel joyful this
Vamos
morning?
a tomar asiento
You could take your seat.
y vamos a introducir las clases.
We're going to introduce the following workshops.
Y voy a también explicar cómo va a funcionar la primera sesión.
And I will explain what the first session will look like.
Ok, la primera sesión comienza en unos minutos a las 10 de la mañana.
First session will begin in a few minutes at 10 a.m.
Y esta primera sesión va a ser dividida en dos,
This first session will be divided into two parts.
donde Va a haber un receso de 10 minutos a las 10:50.
At 10:50, we'll have a 10-minute break.
Y pues los temas que vamos a estar tratando,
The different themes we will be teaching,
ustedes los pueden ver en su programa.
you could see it in your program.
Esta clase va a tratar única y exclusivamente el aspecto musical.
This first session will deal only on the musical aspects
Luego
of
vamos a
your
hablar del
ministry.
aspecto espiritual.
Then we will focus on the spiritual aspects of your ministry.
Pero primeramente vamos a hablar de lo musical.
But first, we will focus on the musical session.
Y me gustaría introducir a algunos de los maestros en esta mañana.
I'd like to introduce the teachers for these workshops.
Primeramente voy a introducir al que tengo aquí a un lado.
First, I'm going to introduce the man to my right.
Este hermano tiene tocando con el grupo del Estado ya como unos 14 años.
This brother has he's been part of the state team for about 14 years.
Nos ha acompañado en 2 asambleas generales
We've been to 2 general assemblies,
y hemos visto su crecimiento musical.
and we've seen him grow musically.
Y también hemos podido ver que no solamente es un gran músico, sino es un gran siervo de
And
Dios.
we've seen that he's not just a great musician, but a great servant of God.
Y hay mucho que aprender de este hermano.
And there's a lot to be learned from this brother. Amen. That's true.
Así que vamos a presentar.
Amen. We're going
Vamos
to
a
present
presentar a nuestro hermano Caleb
Brother
Aguirre,
Caleb Aguirre,
que va a estar a cargo de la clase de bajo.
who will be in charge of the bass class.
Me faltan algunos maestros, ¿verdad?
I'm missing a few teachers.
Creo que me falta uno.
I think I'm missing one at the moment.
Voy a introducir primero a los de casa.
I'll introduce those that are part of our local churches.
Y pues segundo, tenemos un muchacho que empezó desde los 13, 14 años ahí a darle a la batería.
This young man started at about 13, 14 years of age on the drums.
Recuerdo cuando tocaba con el grupo Tercer Elemento
I remember when he started playing with the group Tercer Elemento
y con los Herederos del Rey.
and with the group Herederos del Rey.
Pero también ha estado tocando con el grupo del Estado ya por bastante tiempo.
He's also been a part of the state team for a while.
No solamente ha tocado en el grupo del Estado, sino que también ha tocado con diferentes grupos.
Not just the state team, but various other groups.
Le ha tocado también ministrar en la iglesia Bonita Valley.
He's also had the chance to minister in the church Bonita Valley.
Y también es un muchacho muy humilde.
He's a very humble servant as well.
Y no solamente es un maestro de música, sino que también es un maestro de teología.
Not only is he a teacher of music, but he's also a teacher of theology.
Pero ya se casó, así que no hay. Ya no, ni modo.
And he's just married, so ni modo.
Sigan orando por él.
Continue to pray for him.
Con ustedes, nuestro hermano Luis Reynoso.
Brother Luis
¿Se puede pasar por
Reynoso.
aquí enfrente, por favor?
If you could stand here at the front.
Para que te sigan viendo. De pie. Y bueno, pues continuamos con los de
And,
casa.
We continue with those that are from our local churches.
Nuestra iglesia es conocida mundialmente.
Our church is recognized worldwide.
Estamos en más de 136 países.
Our church is in more than 136 countries.
Y nuestros hermanos que vienen con nosotros son también de la Iglesia de la Profecía,
And the following brothers are also from the Church of God of Prophecy,
pero desde el estado de Oklahoma.
from the state of Oklahoma.
Y esta pareja es una pareja muy ejemplar,
This couple is a very exemplary couple.
de grande bendición a mi vida,
They are a big blessing to my life,
muy talentosos.
with very much talent.
La vemos cantando también en juegos de la NBA,
We've seen her lead the national anthem in
el himno
NBA
nacional
games.
americano.
In NBA games.
Y yo me quedo, COGOP represent",
And I'm just like, COGOP represent.
ahí echando porras.
Just cheering her on.
Pero no solamente eso, sino porque abre la puerta a que conozcan a la hermana.
Not just that, but she has gone through the door of people getting to know her.
Y de esa forma introducir el evangelio.
And from that, she's able to introduce the gospel.
Y Y también damos gracias a Dios por nuestro hermano que tiene un gran talento en tocar diferentes instrumentos.
And we thank God for our brother as well, who has the gift of playing many instruments.
Me gustaría introducir a esta pareja,
I'd like to introduce this couple,
nuestra hermana Jacqueline y Josué Chávez. Si pueden
Sister Jacqueline
pasar.
and Brother Josue Chavez.
Nuestro tecladista creo que está, ¿cómo se dice? A estar planificando su clase ahorita.
I think our keyboardist is finishing up preparation for his room.
Pero me gustaría hablar un poco de él también,
But I do want to talk a little bit about him.
ya que él también es un gran músico.
He's also a great musician.
Él viene de la Iglesia del Redentor en Tijuana
He's from the Church Redentor in Tijuana.
y también es parte de la Iglesia de Bonita Valley.
He's also a part of the worship team at Bonita Valley Church.
No solamente eso, sino que también ha tenido el privilegio de tocar con algunos artistas, no solamente cristianos, sino también seculares.
Not just that, but he's had the opportunity to play with many artists, both secular and in gospel.
Como fue el tecladista oficial de Yuridia
He was the official keyboardist for Euridia
desde el 2008
since the year 2008.
y también ha tocado con diferentes salmistas, Marcos Witt,
He's played with other psalmists such as Marcos Witt,
Abel Zavala
Abel Zavala,
y también con Eddie Woolsey,
Eddie who?
Eddie Woolsey
Eddie Wolseley.
y van a ver que también este muchacho tiene una técnica impresionante, tiene una velocidad.
And you will see this young man's amazing technique, the velocity.
Así que pídanle todos los secretos posibles.
So ask a lot of questions, ask for his secrets.
Mira, parece que va a ser una entrada triunfal porque ahorita va entrando y con ustedes
And there's a
nuestro
grand
hermano
entry.
Marco Margarito.
Brother Marco Margarito.
No que quiera reservar al último para el mejor para el último,
Not that I want to reserve the best for last.
pero para mí es una grande bendición
For me, it is a great blessing
presentar este gran hombre de Dios,
to present to you this great man of God.
porque él tiene mucho que ver en mi crecimiento musical
He has so much to do with my musical growth
y con mi crecimiento espiritual.
and also with my spiritual growth.
Y pues hablar de este hombre
To talk about this man
es hablar de una institución en la guitarra.
is to talk about a whole institution on guitar.
Si ustedes han escuchado a Álvaro López en Rescue Band,
If you've ever heard of Álvaro López Rescue Band,
Jesús Adrián Romero,
Jesús Adrián Romero,
Gadiel Espinosa,
Adiel Espinosa,
si han escuchado todos esos discos,
if you've heard a lot of that music,
ustedes se darán cuenta que hay una peculiaridad en ese sonido de guitarra.
you'll understand that there is a very peculiar sound to the guitar playing.
Y pues para mí es un privilegio
For me, it's a great privilege
presentar a este hombre.
to present this man.
Con ustedes,
With you,
Gabe Terrado.
Gabe Torado.
Los talleres van a ser divididos de la siguiente forma.
Everything will be divided this way.
Primeramente, el taller de teclado va a estar en este edificio que está a mi izquierda.
Keyboard workshop will be to the building next to this one.
Y el taller de vocalización
Vocal workshop will be
va hacia la misma dirección, pero un edificio antes.
same direction, but
Es un
the building
salón
next
antes,
to it.
ajá. El taller de batería va a ser aquí.
Drum workshop will be here.
El taller de guitarra va a ser en el primer salón que está aquí abajo. En este
Guitar
edificio.
workshop will be here on the first floor as you walk outside.
Y el de abajo
And the bass
va a ser en el piso de arriba.
will be on the top floor.
Así que nomás van a poder asistir a un taller. Tomen beneficio de este taller.
You can only go to one workshop and take advantage of this workshop.
Por eso quiero que solamente vayan a uno
That's why I would like for you to just choose one
para tomar todo el beneficio.
to take full advantage.
Muy bien, así de esa forma nosotros nos vamos a dividir en nuestras clases.
So in that form, we will all go to our classes.
Vamos a dejar que los maestros se ¿cómo se dice? Se preparen
We'll give the teachers some time to finish getting ready,
y podemos pasar a nuestras clases ya de una vez.
and we can go to our classes.
Muy bien. No sé si hay alguien de vientos.
I don't know if there's a wind instrument player.
Si no lo hay, pues,
If not,
pues Dios les bendiga.
then God bless you.
Gracias.
Oh, you were going to teach that class? Oh. Look for Maddie.
Neff, if you want, let me give you this little stool over here. So you could just like, no, it's because I don't want you to be like. Guys, God bless. Morning, drummers. What's up? What's up? Get closer. The guys in the back, please. There's a lot of people in the back. I want you to feel comfy, because if you guys feel comfy, I feel comfy, you know? Feel me? Nah, that's it. All right, guys, I'm going to ask you to, we already prayed, but I want us to pray for this class. Is that cool? All right, so let us stand. I'm going to pray in Spanish because I already have that custom. All right? So, oh, man. All right, let us pray. Señor Jesús, te doy las gracias por este momento tan especial que tú nos das, Señor. Te pido que toques la vida de cada uno de estos jóvenes, Señor. Te pido que tu Espíritu Santo, Señor, los impacte, Padre, a través de esta clase, que estos consejos que demos, Padre, sean vitales para su ministerio, Padre, para sus vidas, Señor. Te pido, Señor, que les tomes, Señor, en esta manera, que les des un despertar, Señor, por querer ser mejores, Señor, por querer mejorar su habilidad para tocar, Señor. Te pido que les des la fuerza, Señor, que aumentes, Padre Santo, ese deseo por servirte, Señor, por ser humilde, Señor, por servir en tu casa, Señor, por servir en tu casa de oración. Te pido que tomes a cada uno de ellos, Señor, que los habilites, Señor, para ser mejores. En el nombre de Cristo Jesús te lo pedimos, Señor. Santifícanos, Señor, purifícanos, Señor. Bendice esta clase, Padre, que sea de beneficio, que sea de bendición, que ellos puedan transmitir, Padre, lo que han aprendido, Padre, a otras personas. Que ellos puedan, Señor, inspirar a otras personas para ser mejores aún, Señor. Gracias te damos y te adoramos, te glorificamos, Señor. Amén y amén. Amen. You guys may take your seat. I'm gonna start a little differently. Last year, I started with a song, but this year, we don't have a track system, or there's no way I can actually play along with the sequence today. So I'm gonna play something for you just to get it started, because we can't start a drum clinic without a little thing on the drums or anything, right? It's kind of weird. It feels odd. So here we go. Amen. All right. Just don't fall. Something to get the blood flowing a little bit. All right. It's because I'm wearing a jacket, guys. I'm wearing a coat. So. All right, guys. So I want to give you a special welcome. I love playing the drums. I've been playing the drums since Brother Isaac says since I was 13, but no, he meant like I was playing. He saw me playing in a band. Yeah, I'm going to clear that out with him. I'm going to hit him when I see him. No, I'm just kidding. But I've been playing the drums ever since I have memory, I guess. I would say 5 officially at church, but like it's been a big, you know, like trayectoria. How do you say that? Help me out, guys. Journey. Yes, that's the right, shorter word. It's been a long journey since then, but I mean, it's been really fun. I mean, the drums, to be honest, guys, come on, let's admit it. Drums are like it's really fun to play the drums. I mean, like putting apart all the instruments. I mean, we have the guitar, we have the piano, but I mean, I think the drums is like, to me, I think it's the most fun. I don't know, in my opinion. I played all of them. I played the bass, the guitar, the keys, and they're all really fun. They have their, you know, they have their thing, but I think, you know, I have more fun playing the drums. But to play the drums, I mean, like, it takes technique, it takes a lot of practice, it takes time, patience. We're gonna talk about that right now, but you guys, I'm really happy you're here, and just the fact of you guys being here speaks for you. It speaks well for you. And I love the fact that you guys actually paid, you know, like you paid money to be here, so that speaks good for you guys. Not a lot of people want to invest. How many know that? Not a lot of people like investing in to get better at something. How many of you guys know that on YouTube there's drum teachers? There's free drum tutorials. And how many of you know that some of those drum tutorials have been stolen, or that somebody paid for it and they just they just downloaded the video and they just uploaded it on YouTube? And I don't think that's kind of fair, you know. Somebody else paid for that, but somebody has to pay the price. And if you want to become better at what you do, you're gonna have to pay a price. How many of you guys know that? So if you're here, I mean, you have to know you're gonna have to pay a price, all right? For whatever, if it's gonna be to get better on the drums, it's gonna cost you, man. All right, so first of all, I want to start the class with some church drummer advices, all right? Because all of us are church drummers here, right? Or who has a secular? Who plays out in the secular world? Oh, Josh, I know you do, man. you gotta pay the rent, huh, bro? It's hard. It's tough. No. But I mean, as we know, we're all church drummers, and we all need advice. And the Bible says that and the Proverbs, that people who listen to advice, I mean, are wise people. And I believe all of you guys are prudent here. That's what the word means. That's the right word that the Bible uses, to be prudent. And to be prudent means you always accept advice. If you're a drummer and you're always in church, you're always active in your instrument, I just encourage you to be a person who always listens to advice. It could be from a beginner drummer. Yes, you could take advice from a beginner drummer. Yes, you can. Yeah? You could take advice from a even more seasoned drummer. And that's we're always like trying to aim for those seasoned drummers. Hey, I want advice from you. But what about the beginner drummers? They can even teach you even to go back to the basics. Oh, because I'm going to touch that subject right now. But sometimes we need that. We all need that. We need advice, and it's inevitable to live in this world, in this drumming world, without receiving advice. We all need it. Raise your hand if you want to be better at what you do. Yeah? I mean, we all want to be better. We want to get better at what we do, and if we have the resources, if we have the teachers, let's take advantage of that, right? So church drummer advices, I'm just going to speak about that, and I'm hoping to get 15 minutes out of this. And if not, well, we'll just start to learning about control, right? It's super interesting. All right, so let's go to the first slide. The first advice I have for you guys this very morning. ¿No quieren? Let us pray for this computer. Let's all extend our hands to the computer over there. See, do you think we had to switch computers or something? Oh, okay. you're going to start a fire here, bro. Just to warm it up. All right. So, here we are. Next. Para que salgan las letras. All right. The first advice I have for you guys. It's not about you. Everybody repeat that. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about the people out there, who play drums. It's not about us, guys. Drummers, we need to learn this advice for the rest of our lives. And what does the Bible say about this? In Colossians 3:23 and 24, some of us already know this verse, but let us see what it, can you just press on the, look at it? The Bible says, everybody read together, whatever you do, work at it with all your what? As working for the Lord and not for who? Since you know what you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a what? It is the Lord Christ you are what? Serving. And this is a topic I want to talk to you guys about. Music is about serving, all right? So we're serving music. We're not serving ourselves. Okay? I think that speaks very well about this topic. It's not about you. We're serving music. Okay? So if we want to get better at this, we have to understand the first foundation of all drummers. Okay? This is I think this is the main foundation. Because drummers, yes, we're like the most important instrument in the band because we're the ones keeping the rhythm, but we need a very strong foundation. We need to know how to play our instrument with excellence. So, next slide. Okay, and this is the second advice I have for you guys. What does it say? Everybody. Basic grooves, yes. And can you go to the next one? Become an expert on basic drum beats. Yes. The people, like I was saying in the beginning, there's beginner drummers that could actually give us advice because they're the ones who are perfectioning themselves in the basic drum beats. And sometimes we as advanced drummers or intermediate or whatever category you're on, or like professional, whatever or Saiyan master, or I don't know what you want to call yourself, God mode. But if you think you're that, you still need to like come back to basics. We need to come back to basics, and we have to become experts in the basics and appreciate basics. And I'm going to touch on this again. Next. Enjoy every second of what? Of the groove. Can a drummer from this audience tell me where does this apply when we play in church? Raise your hand if you think where in which part of the songs does this apply? And the verses, but we always have praise songs, but we also have the worship ones. And we drummers, to be honest, we always correct me if I'm wrong, but we always think that the slow songs are the most boring, because it's the ones that the drums are they're not that busy as the fast ones, and we always tend to like look down on them, like I'm gonna be playing a slow song. Oh my God, it's the one. What's that song called? The one that doesn't do anything. It's oh my God, I forgot this. Your presence is heaven. Oh my God, there's a whole verse of just coloring and acting like I want to worship, but I actually want to play. But it happens. All drummers, you want to stay busy on the drums. You want to stay busy on a groove, filling in and all that stuff. And I know it sounds cool. I know it sounds decent, but sometimes we have to understand that we have to enjoy every second, every moment that we're on the drum set. We have to enjoy every minute of it, because we're not doing this for us. Going back to the foundation, it's not about who? It's not about us. It's about God, okay? So we have to enjoy every second of the groove. And we transmit love for basic grooves when we enjoy them ourselves. Yes. So I'm going to read it one more time. We transmit love for basic grooves when we enjoy them ourselves. If you enjoy what you do, you're going to transmit this to the rest of the congregation. Yes? Amen? Guys, I need you alive here. But it's true, guys. If you love what you do, people are going to love what you do as well. Like if you love playing the drums and you love even the slow songs, people are going to say, you know what, that drummer, whatever he plays, He plays that with excellence. He gives it his best. It doesn't matter if it's a ranchera, if it's like Dios está aquí, and it's like really slow and it's like super basic, but he plays it with all his heart. And that's what people see. And you know what? Those are the people that get invited to events. If that's what you're seeking, those are the people that always get invited. All right, so that's a tip for you guys. Next advice I have for you guys. Appreciate, everybody, read that with me. What does it say? Appreciate who? Yes. Drummers, where are you at? The music director in church, who is the one who always has fights with? In the worship team, he's the drummer is always the one who's getting picked on, the one who's always getting criticized, the one who's always getting. Like if there's a mistake going on, he's the one who's always getting criticized for it. The drummer. True or not? Am I right? Yes. Next advice. I'm sorry, it's still part of this. Have a strong relationship with your local music director. Drummers, we need this. And this speaks for not only for church, but outside in the secular world. If you have a band director, you need to have a good communication with them. I'm sorry if you don't think this way. If you think you're like your solo man, or you think you're like the lonely wolf or whatever. But you need to come back and make a good relation or have a strong relationship with your music director. Okay. Next. In this category, also always talk to him about changes that have to do with worship team. Drummers. Yes. How many of you come to a service and they have something just changed? The music director doesn't tell you what's going on. He says, you know what? This guy didn't practice this. This guy didn't learn the guitar solo. This guy didn't learn the bass part. We're gonna have to delete the song from the list today, and we're gonna make another one. If you're not in communication with your music director, you're just gonna look bad. All of a sudden, you're ready to start the other song, and they start cueing you for another song, and you're like, whoa, what's going on here? What happened? And you, the drummer, the one who keeps the beat, you're gonna look bad. So avoid this, okay? Have a strong relationship with your music director. Always talk to him. Next, Neff, thank you. Whenever you feel that you want to try something new, in a song or whatever, make sure you talk to him so you could all be in the same page, or you guys could all be in the same plan, If you want to make something new, if you tell him, you know what, whatever, fulanito, I think this will fit a little bit better in this part of the song. I like this. I know the original song goes like this, but I want to change it a little bit. I want to do another beat, and you always have to be in communication with them. Because sometimes what do music directors do? They're on the piano, they're on the guitar, and if you play something that's not part of the original, album, and it's not there, and what do they tend to do? They'll turn around with you and they'll make you look bad in front of the whole church, right? It happens. So, guys, these are all advices for you. Please embrace them. Please take them. Whatever you see today, talk to other drummers about this because they need this. Okay? So that's one of them. If you want to make some changes, if you want to talk, or you want to do something different from the original song, talk to the music director, and believe me, you'll be fine. Okay? Next advice I have for you guys: buy good equipment. Yes. How many of you guys have really bad equipment at your church? Drums. We're talking about drums, okay? I'm not speaking in general. Yes, we could also have bad equipment in everything else, but as in drums. How many, raise your hand if you guys need already a new snare? Or you need a new drum set, the whole thing, you need to change it up. New cymbals. How many of you guys still have that cracked crash? And you're still playing with it, you're using it as what you call those, you put a crash and then you put, what? Yeah, you guys, it sounds pretty cool, right? You don't need to buy a China anymore, but. Yeah. And you're still using it, right? It's all cracked. It's actually in perfect shape. But, it happens. So, guys, you guys need to buy good equipment for your church. Buy good equipment. Can anybody mention a good brand for cymbals? Oh, my God. I'll be surprised if you guys don't know. What's the other good brand around? I want to mention a new brand. Which brand is like trending right now? The newest brand. Which one? Yeah, there's some new symbols like that they're making right now. You guys have to get into that. And if you guys think it's gonna sound good at your local church, I mean, go ahead and purchase. I know some of them are like, a ride is almost running for like $500. But if you think, I mean, I'm not actually to like make a super drastic, investment in this, but I mean, like, I just want you guys to buy good equipment for your church. I'm trying to encourage you to buy good equipment. And one of them is going to be mics. If you guys need mics at your church, you guys need to buy microphones. If you guys don't need mics, you guys need to cage yourselves in like in a corner over there because of volume control. Yeah, do so. Instead of buying a whole mic set, buy yourself a cage or what you call those. I'm sorry, shield. Yeah. Oh my God, cage. So yeah, because we're animals, right? And we like to like tear it up for the Lord. Amen. So we have to think of volume. I'm going to talk about that. I don't really want to get into that, but good equipment, guys. Drumsticks. Drumstick brands. Mention a good one. Okay, which other? That's it. Oh, he's a big first guy. Again, I don't want it to be debates here. ProMark. Darth Vader. What? Yeah. There's some good drumstick brands out there. Sound percussion. Walmart, First Act. I'm just kidding, guys. But there's buy good equipment for your church. How many say amen? We need to buy good equipment for our drum set, accessories, whatever it is. You guys need to buy it, okay? Next. Yes, Brother Neff. Guys, just whatever you guys see on the Craigslist, just make sure that when you get with the seller, inspect it. If it's a symbol, if it's a crash symbol, just inspect, like top to bottom, like every corner, make sure it doesn't have cracks because they promise that it's in good condition. It's been used, but like sometimes you don't see that little crack on the edge there, and it's about to like, as soon as you give like the next two services, it's going to crack on you. So always make sure if you buy used gear, just make sure you inspect it before you take it, you give the money away on Craigslist. Talking about Craigslist and drum sets as well. Sometimes they send like pictures on the on the side of the shelves that they're not all scratched up, and they'll send pictures. It's all stacked up and neat, but they only take pictures on one side. They don't show you the other side, which has like gum and like it's all full of like old high C juice, and it happens. I once bought a drum set like that, and it was actually pretty good, but I had to clean it all over because it was a mess. It was really bad, and I had to like. Anyway, I'm going to say which one it was. I don't know if you guys remember a 7-piece green drum set that I used to have. I took it once to convention. Yeah, it was a PDP. I took it once to convention. It was when I first got home, I thought it was going to be all nice. And we're talking about used gear that you buy online. So make sure everything that they say or everything that they put online, like the pictures, make sure you ask for more pictures so you could just inspect the whole thing, okay? So that's my advice on buying equipment, okay? I would encourage you guys to buy everything new. Yeah? If you guys are on a budget and there's no, you guys can't afford it or whatever it is, then maybe consider that. But always make sure you guys buy equipment that's gonna it's gonna serve you at church. Okay? Next one. Watch your drum fills. Okay, that's my next advice. Not everybody in church understands music like you do. Drummers. Not everybody's advanced at church like you are, man. Like, if you're like if you listen to like Mr. Vinny Caliura, and you're like all into him and you like what he does. Mr. Vinny Caliura, he has some crazy beats. He has I don't know, man. He's amazing. You listen to all these really good drummers. Don't try to apply this in worship or in praise. It's gonna, people are they're trying to at least try to follow you. Some people don't understand music like you do. We have mechanics at church. We have people who don't understand music as well as we do, and like they're just trying to keep beat and stay on the one. And if you're all just And they're like, whoa, what's going on? They're like, I don't know, it seems like they're having a seizure, like trying to keep up with you because they're too advanced. And we know that. I believe you guys. I believe you're going to land back on the one. I believe you guys. But I mean, like, try not to get so fancy, okay? All right, Mr. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you, Kay. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. All right, thank you, Brother Caleb. So I'll give a hand clap for Caleb for volunteering. Oh, my God. Thanks, brother. The next point I have there. Church members come to church to worship. And they can't do so, they can't do so if the worship team is not interacting with them. So just understand that people come to church for one purpose only. And they just come to worship God. And if you, the drummer, you're like having the gig of your life here and you're like, you're smashing it over here and you're trying to be all advanced. I mean, if people are not going to be able to worship peacefully, they're not going to be able to find God's presence when the only one shining there is the drummer. Okay, so let's be careful with that, okay? Yes, brother. Does this apply on the singers too? Is that what you're trying to say? Well, not really, because we're like, the thing is that the drummer, like, I'm talking about the drums, when we, like, it happens when drummers, when we start doing a lot of fills, and we're just getting everybody so distracted on focusing on ourselves, you know, like, and everybody's just like, oh my God, he's doing a lot of drum fills, and it sounds cool. Instead of people like focusing on the lyrics and on the main singer, they're just looking at the drummer because he's decorating and it sounds pretty cool. But I mean, like, all the focus is just on him. So I'm trying to say just to avoid this. And yes, the lead singer, when they're trying to interact with the congregation, that's different. They're the ones who's supposed to do it. If they don't do it, well, that's really bad. They're supposed to do that. But if the lead singer, they're supposed to. I just want to say that they're the ones who are supposed to interact with the congregation, not the drummer. The drums don't speak. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. All right, next point. Okay, you as a drummer need to learn how to control your what? Solo mode. We all have that, right? We all have a solo mode. Let's admit it. Come on, guys. We're drummers. We all have a solo mode, all of us. And if it's when you're by yourself or whatever, and that's all you practice, just solos and solos, that's cool. But I mean. In church, when we worship, it's not just about that. Okay, we need to control that. All right, the next advice I have for you guys. Drum fills are not prohibited, okay? Doesn't mean that doing drum fills are bad or they're gonna like demolish you because you're doing a lot of drum fills. No, they're essential, but let us look at how we use them. Next point. Drum fills are added where they need to be added, okay? Yes? Next point. Don't add lead fills in the middle of the verse. Lead fills are, I could call them like transition fills, okay? Now, this is a way, when we're playing a verse, you could add mini fills, like a one count, or what they call them like hiccup drum fills. Let me show you a little demonstration. Oh man, I need a. Is that mic on the drum set, Mike? Yeah. I could say a lead fill is like a transition fill that takes us to the chorus. So if we're on the verse. That's a lead drum fill that's going to take us to the chorus. That's pretty long. Okay, so if we're playing on the verse, we have to short that up. Okay, we could do like they call them like interruption drum fills, when you're just playing on the verse and like that. It's just decorating. Okay, but try not to do that during the verse. Am I making myself kind of clear? Yeah, you guys understand? So. If you're playing on the verse, try to take off that tendency of always doing these long drum fills during the verse. Okay? Next point. Lead drum fills are to be used as a transition from the verse to the chorus. I just said that, okay? Just remember that. This will prevent any confusion between the audience and the band. It happens, guys. When people, like they hear the drummer do this long drum fill, they're like, "Wow, that sounds really cool," but we're still like on the verse, or we're still playing the same part, and we haven't got anywhere. But he's doing these long drum fills, so try to avoid any confusion, okay? Drum fills are essential, but they need to be used wisely, okay? Use them wisely. If you know a lot of cool drum fills and a lot of cool drum transitions, just use them wisely, okay? Yeah? Okay, next. You are the rhythm leader, not the lead singer, okay? Yes? All right? No one is responsible for keeping the beat and tempo but you. Okay? It's not up to the singer. When mistakes in rhythm happen, the drummer is always blamed for it. Yes, it's true, guys. So the next point I have, prevent going through this by always staying on beat. Okay? I have always a tendency of since I haven't played in a long time, I feel at church, I like playing, and I want to be honest with you guys. It's like this, I don't know, this feeling of I just want to give it my all right now. But sometimes when things don't, que no se prestan, how do you say that? Or when the situation's not right, and I'm supposed to stay pocket, I'm just gonna follow my instinct. Okay, don't go all crazy. If you haven't played in a long time, you just want to tear it up. Try to control yourself. Okay, and prevent always from always being criticized by staying on beat. If you're trying to get all fancy there, try not to. Okay, singers during worship tend to tell band to fade off. When they do this signal, when they're singing, they're leading, and they're like doing this and trying to tell you hey, just fade off, just go low or keep it quiet, just color around. You are still responsible for what? To what? To keep the beat, right? How do you do this? If the main singer just told you to fade off, and sometimes I know it's hard because sometimes lead singers they do this when they tell you to fade off, and you're supposed to keep the rhythm, and you feel now this also happens, guys. When the lead singers they start dragging. Have you heard that? When they're singing a worship song, they'll tell you I'm just gonna give an example Te seguiré, eres mi vida, eres mi amor y mi devoción. That's a rhythm. That's a regular the tempo, right? Now they do this. Te seguiré, eres mi vida. I'm actually drawing it along because I can't sing and do that at the same time. But the lyrics are gonna start dragging, and they need you to keep the tempo. What happens if they'll tell you shh, and you're still trying to do something? I would recommend just coloring, or just if you have brushes or something, and if you have extra equipment or whatever you have there, use it. And yes, I know some of us don't have brushes, but if you can, just with the tip of the drumstick, just keep the beat for them, because sometimes they'll do that. They'll drag. Am I wrong? Am I right? They'll drag sometimes, and they're yes, the atmosphere is beautiful, but sometimes we drummers we have a sequence going on. Yeah, those of us who play with sequences or play with tracks, you have something going on over here, and the singers just they're doing their own thing. They're going through space over there, they're doing their own thing, and you're the drummer, you're trying to keep the beat for them. So try to stay on the cymbal. Okay, so I want to give you guys that advice. Next. When invited to an event, what are the things that we're supposed to do? Number one, bring your drumsticks. Okay, bring them with you. Next, learn the songs that were sent to you. That if they invite you to an event, you need to do all the everything that they ask you to do. Okay, when performing, don't overplay the music. Okay? Don't overplay. Have a humble attitude. Okay? And this is a really special one. Treat other churches' equipment with what? Yes. Because sometimes we drummers, we go to other churches and like, and they they see the snare and they're like, oh man, like they just toss it back there or something. Or you see the toms, you see them that they're like, they have them like in a really nicely neat and everything's like set for the other drummer. You're like, oh my God, I don't play like this. I want to take off this and I want to take off that and everything's all mic'd up and you're like taking off everything. I mean, that's not treating the church with respect. So, my advice to you is, I mean, if you're going to go to another church, just play the drum set as it is. And if they tell you, first of all, I would encourage you guys to talk to the music guy or the person in charge of the event. And going over there and asking them, hey bro, is it fine with you if I move the drum set just a little bit, just like so I can feel comfy here? And if he tells you no, don't move anything. That's the fourth point I have here. You have to have a what? A humble heart. It's not about you guys. Okay, this is a group event. Okay? So we have to like understand that sometimes things are not going to accommodate our way. Things are not going to be set the way we want. So the drum set's like all over. Maybe they have a drum set where the toms are like this, like they used to back in the old days, like one tom like this and one tom like that. Kind of looks like two antennas like this, like an alien. But, I mean, if they want to have the drum set, just leave it like that, okay? But if you have permission to move things around and to tune things your own way, do it. Only if you have the permission to do it, okay? Because sometimes we bring our own drum key and we start like like tightening the snare as much as we want, and that's not cool, guys. Don't do that with other churches' equipment. All right, next. Be punctual, okay? When you get invited to an event, be punctual, okay? Next. Oh, my bad. That slide didn't get finished. I'm sorry. Okay. So, we got into this part of the class. Steps to learn control on the drum set. Okay? Number 1. What do you think that is? Step number 1. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, go for it. Number 1, prayer. There it is. There's the main foundation of all drummers. How many of you guys pray here? I know this is not the spiritual aspect of it, but I just want to touch the subject, okay, the topic, okay? I'm going to touch it really quick. The next point, sorry. Prayer what? What does it do? How does it benefit us? It enables us, or it helps us to be better. Next, prayer keeps us at what? At peace. And us drummers, we need a lot of peace. Because like we have a war going on between us and the music director, between us and the lead singer, between us and the pastor sometimes for not paying our tithe. No, just kidding. Or I don't know what it is, but we all need peace. I'm just kidding, guys. Whatever it is, they're hunting you down because you didn't do something at church. You didn't do the... I don't know what it is, but we all need peace, and we can only find this through prayer. Through prayer, we find what? Inspiration. How many of you guys want to like be better at soloing or doing what you're doing, but with a purpose? Yeah. And through prayer, we find inspiration. Okay. It helps us remain in our what? In our purpose. And how does this apply for us drummers? Prayer helps us remain in our purpose because sometimes we get offers outside of church. I just had one and I had to turn down. And it was a really good offer, actually. And this guy, he was offering me a lot of money. And he told me he was about to make an album, and he was whatever it was. I really thought that I was being dumb for like rejecting this offer. But when you're in when you're in constant prayer, shut up. He's my brother, guys. I'm sorry. When you're in constant prayer, guys, believe me, the Holy Spirit's going to remind you who you belong to. Yes? The Holy Spirit's always going to keep you in your place. Yes, sometimes, like staying in church, I don't know what it is about drummers nowadays, when you're, about church drummers that is, that they get really good to a point where like they start getting invited outside of church. They start getting invited for other artists, and you start getting money offers, and whatever it is, guys, just remain in your place. Prayer always helps you remain in your place, in your purpose. Okay? So, how many of you guys want to pray? Or like to pray? How many of you guys, we need to have, or start the discipline of always praying before we even play. Some drummers don't do that. Because we're always like getting late, or we're setting up. We're talking about the list with the music director, and they don't pray. And it's super essential to pray, guys, because it helps us remain in our purpose. It gives us peace when we're in church, okay? So the next step, if you want to learn control of the drums, what do you guys think the next step is? Step 2, practice. Practice, 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 practice. Rehearse. All right, next. What does practice show in each musician? Okay, number 1, it shows dedication. If you practice on your own, and you come to a gig, or you come to church, they invite you to an event, and you did your homework, you practice the songs, it shows that you're a dedicated person. Okay? Number 2, desire to improve yourself. Okay? That's what practice does. Like you start, what do like body lifters do? Bodybuilders and lifters. Thank God. Bodybuilders, like they get to a point like when they just get so tired, and like they just get like their arms give out, whatever. And that's like they know that was like the perfect workout. And it works the same thing for drummers. You rehearse to the point where you just get tired, and you just you feel like that's it. I just got to this point. That's a good practice for you. Okay, so I would suggest to get to that point when you practice. Okay, number 3. What does a practice show in each musician? Number 3, it shows what? Responsibility. Yeah. Okay. Step 3. Sorry. How many of you guys have drum classes here? Outside of church? No? I would encourage you guys to do that. I myself, I'm actually taking drum classes in Mexicali, and it's called Forte. It's a music school, and it's like really cheap, 650 pesos. It's always like almost past $20, and I'm just doing it to learn music theory more than I learned very basic in high school, but I'm not really good at it, to be honest. But we all need it. Okay, drum classes. Step number 3, if you want to learn control, you need drum classes. They teach you what? Music theory. We all need it. Number 3, they communicate. They help us communicate better with other musicians in the band. Because sometimes, like, if you don't know about music, or you don't know about measures and counts and eighth notes and 16, if you don't know about all that, I mean, you're going to be telling the bass player, the piano, hey, mijo, tócale esa parte que le haces así, que you do this, y que you do this accent, and they're like, what? And what part? I mean, like, we've been in every part of the song we do this, and like, oh yeah, but like this other part before the chorus, and people don't understand you because you don't know how to explain yourself. And music classes or taking music theory, it helps you do that. It helps you communicate better with other musicians, or musicians who actually know about music. Oh my God! Actually, if the other musicians don't have music lessons, they need them as well. Okay, so all of us need music classes. It is music classes or drum classes. What do? They expand our musical resume. So like if you're trying to apply for a drum gig or a job or whatever it is, I mean, like if you have this that backs you up like a diploma, You went to this school, this music school, whatever. You have the I don't know, this reconocimiento. What do you call those? Acknowledgments, certificate of completion. You're gonna show them, and you're gonna say, "Oh my God, you worked on your passion or what you love. That's good." So I'm gonna give you a chance. I mean, drum classes always look good on you guys. All right. So is that it? Okay. So step number 4, get to know your drum set. Yeah. It's funny that drum setup that's in the background. Put a blindfold on and try to play a song. How many of you guys have tried this? It's really fun. And if you guys need to learn how your drum setup is, this is the best way to do it. Put a blindfold on, or put like this, a breathable, I don't know what or if you have a balaclava or something, or a ski mask, just put it on backwards, or where you can't see anything. I would say do that so you can just learn how your setup is, and just learn everything by heart. So by the time when you're playing a worship song, you just want to close your eyes and just let go. I think that's like the best advice. If you guys want to learn how everything is. Practice exercises that involve playing on each drum. I have some for you guys today, and I always teach them like in every class. I would suggest the next point. Challenge yourself to play with different drum setups. Okay, like right now, this local church, they have a jazz setup, right? Or rock setup. That's what they call it, right? And it has instead of having those 2 toms on the rack right there, it just has one, and it has 2 floor toms over there, right? This is like I could say like the modern setup that drummers, like the new drummers are using now. And when you're always used to like playing with every like a whole set, like a 7-piece set, or you're used to playing with like a 5-piece or whatever, I mean, you have to get used to that, because you're gonna go to a church where they have everything different, they have everything set up different. They're not gonna let you move anything, so you have to practice with different setups. So practice exercise that involve playing each drum. I'm gonna teach you guys one, and I always use it myself. It's playing 2 strokes on each drum, and you could change the pattern. It doesn't always have to be the same. You could switch it off. I'm gonna see if you guys could follow me with this. So, no. So, 2 strokes on each drum. Then we're gonna switch up to another drum. 2. 2 on another drum. And then I would say go back to the main drum, to the snare. All right? So this is a way we can actually learn where our setup is. Okay? And we learn it just like by instinct. Like if we close our eyes and we know where our drum setup or our drums are at, we could just like know how far you reach out, how far you stretch. If this drum is like this far, if I'm hitting the center, if I'm hitting the edge, or whatever it is. I mean, you guys, that's a good exercise actually. If you can. Like I would say, practice this like for 15 minutes. That's a lot, but practice that for a long time. I would say 15 minutes I think it's a good time for you to get to maybe that speed. Just like going over again, same pattern, just change it a little bit, going back, or on the same, just with the drum in front of it, just playing 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Then going over here with the floor tom. Believe me, guys, it helps you out a lot. Okay, so challenge yourself to play with different drum setups. Okay, Next, yes, Brother Isaac. What? Oh, wow, yeah? Okay. Step number 5, work on your tempo, okay? Before we go to our break. Next, sorry. Drummers are responsible for their tempo, okay? Next. Buy headset to play with metronome. If you guys are not used to this, I would encourage you to do that, okay? There's free metronome apps. How many of you guys have your a phone with you? I mean, it's right there if you want it for free. They're on all the phones on Android and on Apple. All right, so play a song on phone and try staying on time with it. That's how actually I started doing that, playing with my favorite songs, and actually worked pretty good before I even started playing with metronome. Since I didn't have the equipment to buy all that, what do you call it, like I forgot the system where you could just divide, like the click and all that stuff. I didn't have all that, so like I started doing that, just playing along with my favorite songs. And drummers who have good timing are always called again for events. Okay, so practice on your timing, guys. Timing is it's the best key for all drummers. If you want to get invited to events, have good timing. Okay. So let us go to our 10-minute break. We're not done with this. So I would say come back here at what? 11? What time is it? 10:55? Okay, 11:05. I'll try to do some hands-on. I've been trying to stay down on my calendar. All right. You ready? We were just talking about tempo, guys. Oh. Not yet. Let's go back to tempo. I have a green light. All right. Guys, so we stayed on the tempo topic, okay? I just want to let you guys know, I do want to say this again. If you guys develop good tempo, if you guys on your own, like play along with songs that, like if you had to investigate if they used actually a track or if they used a metronome when they did the album. Like I know some albums of this famous band that, like they played like raw, like the whole, or they didn't play with a track. That's what I mean by that. You have to investigate if they play with a track or not, and if they did, play along with it. So you can learn that song by heart, and believe me, you guys are going to develop good time, and you guys will get invited to church events or to other places, because drummers with good timing are always like first on the list, okay? So just develop a good time. And believe me, don't do it just because you want to get invited. I don't want to emphasize that, but but just do it because you want to be better, okay? That should be your main focus. And we should be better only for God's purpose, okay? So make yourself a good timer on the drums, okay? So the next step to learn control on drums, okay, guys, be open to what? To new grooves, okay? Next point. New grooves improve what? Yeah, they do. They improve our musicality, and because most of the time we only practice our favorite genres. We only practice our favorite type of music, and we just stay there. We don't improve. We always play the same thing when we solo. We always play the same, drum beat. We always do the same drum fills, and we just need to be open for what's out there, because when you learn new beats, next point, new grooves also inspire us to incorporate new drum fills in our playing. Yeah, like by playing new grooves or whatever it is that you learn, that if it's new or whatever, it's gonna inspire you to it's gonna inspire you to do new drum fills in your playing. I myself have been learning, getting online, and I've been, learning whatever's out there on the YouTube all the YouTube channels, the drummers that upload videos, and I've been watching them, and they have some really, really good advice. But like every time I see something new, I grasp it. Whatever it is. If it's I like that thing. I like the little feel he did. I just slow it down. I know sometimes the audio is gonna be horrible if you put it in slow motion, but whatever it is, I look at it closely. Sometimes when they don't explain it, but I look at it until I learn it. If it's a new groove, let's do it, because it opens up your way of thinking and improves your musicality. So next point, it enhances our muscle memory and awakens the desire to learn what? To learn more. Okay, I forgot. I think I ate an N right there on awakens. But there we have it. Just our muscle memory, we improve it by just learning new stuff. If you always stay in the same patterns and the same beats, same drum fills, you're always going to stay the same. So have this challenge, guys, to learn new stuff, okay? Step number 6. You guys always need to warm up. The next point, practice single strokes with traditional grip. How many of you guys do this? How many of you guys play with traditional grip? No, well, it's not used nowadays. We all play match, right? And it's perfectly fine, but if you guys want to warm up, and if you don't play jazz, but if you want to develop speed, the best, the key is to start playing or warming up with traditional grip. So if you're playing a set of just single strokes, start like put yourself on the metronome and just follow along with it. Just do eighth notes, then make it faster, going to 16th notes. And if you can, if you think you're fast enough already, go to 36 notes. If you think you're already ready for that on the traditional grip, okay. And then like if you want to go to other exercises, next we're gonna go into double strokes. Okay, play double strokes in different speeds. Okay, and this double stroke, when I talk about warming up, I just want to encourage you guys, if you do double strokes on the snare, just do it without doing what? Without rolling on the snare, okay? Or don't dribble. Don't let the stick bounce back, okay? And this is just to develop solid strokes when you play. Practice paradiddles. Practice these on the whole kit, and try building new drum fills. And speaking of the double strokes, I should have had like a practice pad here. I didn't do that. Play double strokes in different speeds. And I want you guys to develop a strong double strokes without having to roll, or without having the need to roll. Okay? And this helps us to make new drum fills. Like, I'm going to play an example of how you could do this without rolling. And it's possible. But if you guys have to develop that speed. All right, so without having, when you roll or when you let the stick bounce back, naturally by gravity, the stick is gonna do this, right? If you let go of it, if you're just holding it with the thumb and thumb and index finger, automatically the stick is just gonna bounce back. So you want to avoid that because you want to develop strong strokes or stronger strokes, right? So what you're gonna be doing is I'm gonna talk about that subject right now, but this is where we learn the molar stroke. How many of you guys have heard of that? The molar stroke. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that right now, but I'm gonna teach you guys how to do this. So first you're gonna be hitting like this, and then raise it up like this. Okay? Let the stick fall. And do its job when you just let it fall on the snare like this. And then when you go up, you're going to be doing an upstroke, like this. So downstroke, this way, upstroke, like this, in this motion. And you do this, like your body position, make sure you have the right posture. And you just you're not all the way, like to the front of the snare, you're not all the way back. So you downstroke like this, in this motion, make sure your arm is straight, or your shoulders are in the same place. Same thing with the other hand, right? So, downstroke like this, upstroke like this. In this motion, so that should go like that. Da, 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 da. So, you guys all see that? Yeah? If I will be rolling, it would sound like. You have to like push the stick forward so it can just bounce back. And when you're doing it all by your wrist or using the molar technique, those hits are gonna sound a little bit more solid, right? So I'm gonna show you the difference how it sounds when you're practicing by rolling, and when you're practicing only by using your wrist. Okay? So if you're just rolling, it's going to sound like this. Now I'm going to switch to the other one. A little bit faster. We're going to roll. I'm going to do the same thing, okay? And then we're just going to transition one from the other, okay? So you'll notice a difference, okay? On how loud it sounds. Yeah? And when you do develop speed on this, you're going to be able to create new drum fills. Like I have one of my favorite ones is just to like do this the double stroke. I was using the exercise and just putting accents in there. So instead of doing just the regular 1 2 1 2, I'm gonna be doing one single stroke on each hand. 1 2 1 2, and then adding one double here, and another double on the left. So again, 1 2, and then a double on each hand. Again, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Right left, right right, left left. On the first two, you're gonna be adding accents, or I should say rim shots. So it could sound a little. You could just identify the hits. Okay, so 1 2 with rim shots, and the other one's just on the center of the snare drum. What is a rim shot? A rim shot, it's like when you hit the snare with this shaft of the stick, it's going to be hitting the edge, and this part, the tip is going to be hitting the center. Is that possible? Yes, it is. It doesn't mean like the stick is going to bend or anything. No, it doesn't mean that. It's just you're going to be putting the stick this way. It's almost going to be laying flat from the edge and the center of the snare, okay? So it's going to look a little something like this. If I had a drum, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's going to look like this when you do a rim shot. You're going to go all the way down like that. That's what it should look like when you do a rim shot. And they sound really loud. Alright? So those first two hits, they're just going to be rim shots, okay? 1 2, right right, left left on the center. Okay, the other two. So right left rim shots, 1 1 2 2. And now you could actually play this instead of doing everything on the snare. You could actually switch it up. You could do instead of doing those two first strokes on the snare as rim shots, you could switch them out to the toms. 1 2, right right left left. 1 2, right right left left. Okay. It helps you develop a little speed, so you could actually use it as a drum fill, okay? Do you guys remember the movie Drumline? Yes. I remember the part when they face each other. The guy he was having trouble with in the movie, the guy Sean and Devin. I even remember their names. Oh my God, I'm such a fan of that movie. And they face each other in the drum studio, and there's this part when Devin he's just like what, and then he's just like. I remember those patterns because it sounded so cool. And that's actually what he's doing right there. It's part of that. And you guys could develop that speed and make it sound like that only if you guys practice all these exercises. Yeah? Am I making myself clear, or do I need to no? Yes or no? Yes? Okay. Talk to me, guys. All right? If you guys have any questions, feel free to raise your hand, okay? No questions so far? No? Okay. So, warm up, guys. Step number 8. Learn about what? Dynamics. Yes, dynamics. Next point. Talking about dynamics. When talking about dynamics, we are referring to what? Volume control. Yes, in churches, this is needed everywhere in every church because I can say that every building is different. You know, like, and they have different structures. Some churches don't have carpet. Some churches don't have the right acoustics. So you're gonna have to work with what you have. So if you need to buy yourself a shield for sound control, do it. If you have to like let go of that illusion of buying mics for your church, then just let go because it's not possible. Your church is not. It's really small for church mic. For drum mics. So let's discard that idea out of the list. But you guys have to learn about volume control. Next point. Playing dynamically means to know when to play loud or soft in a song when it's needed. So all of us know by instinct where are those parts that we have to like raise the volume and those parts that we have to go softer. We all know them. Okay, so next point. As a drummer, you need to become what? An expert. You must become a professional in doing this, and because not everybody's going to be telling you where the song goes loud. Not everybody's going to be telling you, okay, in this part you should do this or that, or like go soft. You're the one who has to become an expert in this. And this also applies when I talk to you guys about learning the songs, right? Yeah? If you do your homework, if you do your job as a drummer, and you learn the songs, I mean, like, all that stuff is going to, you're going to remember, okay, this is the part when they're going to go like this or that. But always, I would say just watch the main singer as well. When they don't know the song, right? Or they don't know the parts. I would just encourage you guys to learn about volume control, okay? Next. Never expect the singer to always guide you, okay? It's a good point. If you guys are always depending on them, on doing this, or doing that, or doing signs, don't always go along with them. Be always aware of the audience. Use them as what? As leads or as your cue, right? If you see that the audience or the church members are like, they're like all over, están llorando los hermanos, they're all ministered, and you see them from where you're at, and you're saying, okay, this atmosphere is like, it's very special, I should like quiet down. Or if you think that people, God is touching people, and you need to like start like building, you need to like build up a little bit, and like, if you think it's the right thing to do, just go for it. But always use the audience, always use the crowd as your lead. If the main singer, if they're crying and they're like kneeling, or it happens sometimes, or they let go of the mic and they're just like letting God minister, that's what you should do. This is the proper way of thinking always. Let the audience be your guide. Because sometimes like it happens when the main singer is just like they're crying or whatever, and you need to like build up or like go along with a guitar player or something. I don't know, color around. There's always stuff to do like that. Okay? So, next point. When needed, guide yourself by instinct when everybody worships. Okay? Because I just talked about that. What would happen if all the musicians just stop playing? Well, you got to stop playing too, man. You have to like guide yourself by instinct. If you see that everybody stops playing or something like that happens, just stop playing and just go by instinct, okay? Next. Applying dynamics in worship. This concept applies when you are playing a song that has the same rhythm throughout the whole thing, okay? How do we use this? Okay, next. Play the verse with closed hi-hat and apply ghost notes on snare. Okay? How many of you guys know what a ghost note is? On the snare, yeah? How many, I should have done this from the beginning. Are there any like beginner drummers in this place? Yes? Intermediate? Like in the middle? Yes? advanced? Say-in mode? No? Okay, so it's good to know. Oh my God, I brought my dose. So I have that, guys. I have that advice to give you guys. When playing the verse, when you guys play a verse, play it with, and okay, I'm saying that applying dynamics in worship, this concept only applies when the song has the same rhythm throughout the whole thing. Yeah? What do you do there? Okay, I'm going to give an example of a song. This song called It's All About You. It's an old song. It says, you are the only one. You are miraculous. But the thing is that the whole song in the verse, in the beginning, they have different ways of playing it. In the beginning, there's an intro. There's a guitar intro, and what does the drummer do? He plays with open hi-hat, right? From the beginning, he's crashing it, or maybe he's playing. He's writing on the cymbal on the crash, and like it's all building up, and all of a sudden, just like it goes. It doesn't go quiet, but the rhythm keeps going. But we go softer, so we can listen to the lyrics on the verse, right? And it happens a lot. It also happens in Friend of God. It happens in this song also, Lord, You Are Good. It happens almost in all the fast-paced songs, right? When songs are like this, and like when the chorus makes a huge difference. The chorus makes a huge difference because the volume goes up. And everything goes louder. Everything is emphasizing on the lyrics, and we're all like just putting the volume a little bit up. But I'm sorry. But when we're playing the verse, when we play the verse, we always play with a closed hi-hat, okay? So just, if you're playing on the verse, just remember that, okay? When transitioning to the chorus, always build up by filling or coloring with cymbals, okay? What do I mean by that? Like coloring. It's like, you're just like, symboling? Yeah. You just, I'm going to give a quick example of when we're playing on the verse, we do this. Playing on the verse, I would say that the verse, it's a little bit busy with the toms. Let us just give an example like that. We build up. It could be with a drum fill. It could be with this, just like how do you call this? Like just playing on the Tom's quarter notes, Neff? Is that what I just did? Quarter notes? Or? Eight notes. Oh yeah, and you play. There's two ways of doing that. You could build up along with the bass, or you could just play one quarter note like this, and just. Play through the whole thing. Okay, there's two ways of doing it. Because I know some drummers, like when you do this, you tend to like speed up. So if you can on your own, like practice this. Because this also happens in worship. This also happens in worship, and the slow songs were like. When volume goes up, and you need to learn like different beats or different transitions, that's one way to do it, okay? So learn drum fills that could actually help you out going that way, okay? Did that help you guys? Yeah, that was just a quick example. Applying dynamics in worship. Next. Okay, on the chorus, you could ride with the crash cymbal, or with the 20-inch ride. Is that possible? Yes, it is. It's not against the rules. Sometimes I used to think that the ride was only meant for like us to like just play with the tip of the drumstick, just like this. Like if it was like jazz, I thought it was only meant for that until I started watching drummers just like playing it as a crash, you know, like keeping time with that. And the chorus, that's a perfect way to see it. If we have actually that stack, you know, we could actually do that as well, right? You guys could do that with a crash cymbal, yeah. So we have those tools that we could use on a chorus and on the verse. Okay, there's many ways you could play a verse. There's many ways you could change it up a little bit. I mean, it's awesome what you could do in the drums. So just be creative, guys. All right. And if you're gonna be creative and change the song a little bit, just talk to your worship leader. Okay, don't forget. Okay, next. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Applying dynamics again, and speaking of the topic, when working with volume control, this is the perfect example on how to. What did I put there? What? ¿Qué hice? Okay. Dios reprenda ese slideshow. Yeah. Yeah, you guys have to be. Yeah, I thank you. Oh my God, tienes espíritu de interpretación. I forgot what I was trying to say. That when you learn or you don't know a song, let's give it an example, okay? If you don't know a song and you're just following the singer, and if you feel like the song is you know building up right there, and you feel like the whole band is like you know the guitar is building up a little bit, you just go along with them. And if you before you even be creative or anything, just follow along. And if you know dynamics and if you know volume control, this is the perfect way to apply this. Okay, so that's one way. Be responsible by breaking up the song into sections. Okay, that's actually the main key of how to use dynamics. Next, as an example, just you're gonna break up the song into parts. The first part's gonna be what? Well, I didn't put the intro there, but there's always an intro for each song. If you guys don't play with intros, you guys some singers just tend to like just start with the lyrics like they don't even do an intro like in the other songs, or they just like whatever. But if you do have an intro, you start with the intro. You think about that. How you're gonna start with the intro? It has to be different, guys. You guys are the drummers have the task of always being creative with each part of the song. We have the verse with it always has to be kind of quiet for the lyrics so we can understand what they're saying. The second verse, it's always how many guys know that sometimes in each song, like the second verse, it's always a little bit more busy, huh? Like we hear this in this song, Jesus the Same by Israel. How many guys know that song? Yeah, it's awesome, right? At the beginning, the drummers is like, excellent. It's a little bit like simpler, you know, like the drummer's not doing as much. But in the second verse, after they do the Jesus the Same, the thing is, there's nobody greater, da 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 da. And they just jump straight in there, and the drummer is way busier than he was in the beginning. It's like Mike Clemens is just going all over the place. So. You know, like we just hear that the second verse is different, and the chorus comes in, and of course, you know, like the volume was all the way up, and then we always have a bridge. If the song it always has the same rhythm throughout the whole thing, we have to be creative and playing it different in each section. So that's my best advice for you guys. When you hear a song, just think about it this way. Okay, here's the whole thing, but I'm gonna break it up in different sections. I'm gonna break up this thing so I can understand where I'm going to be playing different, where I'm going to be crashing on the cymbal throughout the whole chord or whatever, where I'm going to play closed hi-hat, where I'm going to play open hi-hat, where I'm going to be doing this beat, where I'm going to be doing this drum fill, whatever it is. Always have that, guys. That's what I was trying to say in the beginning. This is the way you should look at a whole song. Before you even play, just break it up in different sections. Okay? That's a good advice, right? Yeah? Okay. Next. Oh, applying dynamics. When applying dynamics, starting soft, okay? When starting soft, you are giving room for the rest of the song to breathe. This way, when the chorus comes, you are going to have space to groove and to build up. Okay? So let the song breathe from the beginning. So when the chorus comes in, you're going to be able to just like smash and you're going to have space to like, I'm not going to say solo, but I'm going to say like just, like do a little bit more hits, more strokes. So I would say always let the song breathe from the beginning, okay? Start soft and then build up when playing a worship. Step 9, okay? When if you want to have control on the drum set, transitions. Transitions happen in drumming to let the band and the audience know which direction the songs are heading, okay? Transitions happen through drum filling, as we just said a little while ago. And when transitioning, always make sure that what you play is clear and understandable for the listeners, okay? If you're going to be transitioning from the verse to the chorus, and you want to do this drum fill that you know it's going to maybe like throw off a little some audience or even your musicians because they're not as advanced as you are, think about it. Think beforehand before you even do a super awesome fancy drum fill there. Think about it. So just make sure it's clear and understandable. I have this very like awesome, favorite drum fill that I love from this drummer called Alvaro Lopez, and I'm gonna play it just for you guys to listen. So like, it's kind of offbeat, but I love it. Because you guys intimidate me, but it happens when like when you know a drum fill is gonna intimidate other people. Not intimidate. A drum fill is gonna throw off other people. Think about before you even do it. Okay. Just make sure when you transition, make sure it's understandable. People that listen to you, you want to make sure that whatever you do, they're gonna still land on the one. They're gonna be able to clap along with you. Okay. Yes. Amen. Yes? Okay. Step 10, practice your solo. Oh my God, what the hell is that? Practice your solos. Practice your solos. Practice, the first thing you should practice is staying on time while soloing. Okay? Always make sure that your solo is nice and clear. How many of you guys practice a song and you practice a solo before you even do it? No? How many of you guys are improvisers here? That's good. You guys got to a point where you guys became experts, right? But I would always recommend if you guys could practice the solo before you even do it, it's even better. And can the drummer here tell me why it's better to practice your solo before you even perform it? What? To perfect it? Yeah. Anybody else? Exactly. And the thing is that I'm not trying to say that we shouldn't improvise and that we're against that, but Neff is right. If you practice it beforehand, when you play it, you're gonna have an idea of what you want to do, or how much space, or how many counts do you have to do this, or this little drum break that you have in it, because we all love those songs that have little drum breaks, right? There's always this little song that has a little drum break, and you have to practice what you're going to be doing. Even in the worship ones. Because sometimes you're going to play in a church where they have all the drum set mic'd, and you have this little drum break, and you know how the original drum break was in the album, and you played a different way, people are going to they're going to be like this, and like, what did it say, baterista, bájenlo. So and the first thing you think about, it's like, oh my God, I should have practiced this before I even executed here on the drums. So, guys, practice your drum solos, okay? There's an important thing I want to say. The drum chops you use for the solo should go according to the what? Genre you are what? Playing, yes. Okay? This is really important. We can't forget this one. Whatever genre you're playing, the chops you do, you have to go according to that. If you're playing gospel, play gospel chops. Ooh, gospel chops. If you're playing rock, make sure you stick to the rock drum chops. You don't want to go all gospel-y on everything, especially on worship. It depends on what style of song you guys are playing, right? Because it could change up like the style, the way you're playing it. But make sure if you guys are playing the original, the way they played it in the album, just make sure you stick to that, okay? So that's my advice to you guys, okay? Next, so have in your mind that you are serving the music and not serving yourself. I said that in the beginning, okay? Step number 11. Learn what? Difficult drum fills, okay? This step only applies when you have mastered the previous steps, right? You don't want to go all crazy before learning the basics. Learn combos that challenge you to maneuver around the kit even more. These you practice during your solo practicing, okay? So I was just doing the 1 2 1 2 1 2 on each drum. That's one way to do it. So how about if we add just a little bit more? Yeah, we add. Let's say we add after doing those 1 2 1 2 on the tom, then we're gonna add a double stroke on the bass drum. Yeah, classic, right? That's one of the classic ones. And then, but after that, let's change it up. Instead of doing the same pattern, how about we do something else? We change it up. We do 1 2 1 2 double stroke, and then 1 2 double stroke, 1 2 double stroke, and if you can, we hit the cymbal at the end, right? Yes, brother. Ooh la la. Eso no se aplica con nosotros, por favor. Okay, guys. So we change up the pattern a little bit, and this is only to challenge us, guys. This is to challenge us to become better drummers. I'm gonna show you guys an example of a very classic drum fill that we do. How can we change it up a little bit? Okay. So we do this one, right? We do 1 2 1 2 double stroke, and then we do what's going on? 1 2 1 2 double stroke, 1 2 1 2 double stroke. So we say we want to change that up, right? So we do, and then 1 2 1 2. Nope, we're gonna add one double and one single one at the end, okay? challenging, but learn difficult drum fills. Challenge yourself. You also need to learn combos that involve single and double strokes on the bass drum. Yeah? There's one of my favorites to also do, like when playing gospel beats. It's very simple, and let me see if I could. Yeah, 1 second. I'm just gonna stay here. Okay, so this other drum fill, it's 1, 2 on top, one stroke. One stroke on the bass drum, 1, 2, one stroke, 1, 2, one stroke. Okay? Just like that, simple. Okay? I don't know why I'm ending it with drums, with a snare drum, but it sounds pretty neat, right? How about if we change the sticking pattern and instead of doing it like right, left, how about if we just change it up a little bit? We do right, left, right, left, right. Let's challenge ourselves a little bit, right? Don't stay always on the same pattern. You try to move around, try to be different on each drum fill. So I have another one. I love this one. Okay, so that one, it's first bass, one hand on the snare, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Bass drum, snare, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And then you end with a double stroke at the end. First one stroke by itself. Okay, and the second stroke you're gonna be hitting the cymbal, okay? You have to learn the pattern, right? So it's 1, snare hit, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, my bad. No. Yeah, you do it over again. After doing it 4 times, you end with a double stroke, okay? That's 1. I'm just teaching you guys one of my favorite ones. It's one I always used to like. Then combo it with other drum fills, other patterns. I'm gonna give you a little demonstration, in a little while. Okay, so learn combos that involve single and double strokes on the bass drum. Okay, next, step number 12. We need to improve this fluidity on the drum kit. Okay, next. stick holding and hand motion, okay, play a big role in this exercise. I already taught that one, right? So the downstroke and the upstroke, okay? Don't forget that one. We need to improve that. Next. Improving our posture is also a way to help us flow better on the drum fills. How many of you guys have seen drummers that play kind of like they're stiff or like they're like robotic? So we need, could they change that if they want to? They can, unless they have like a, I don't know, if like they have like a disorder or something that they can't like lift their arms in this motion or whatever it is. Maybe they have that, you don't know. But you guys that can improve that, I mean, do it. You guys that could actually work on that, just work on your posture. Make sure that nothing's on your way. Make sure that if you're, how can I say this? If you know that there's like when you do a drum fill, if you tend to do this, fix that. How can you fix this? Just by playing things slow and stay in the same, like, I could say that like the proper way to sit on the drums is just like, I need the stool. Just make sure your back is always straight. You don't want to have your this part just leaning forward or anything. You don't want to be all like a hunch, you know, like this. You don't want that. Try to stay straight. And if you speed up or anything, just make sure, remind yourself that only your arms are supposed to move. Okay? So posture plays a big part. Next, practice paradiddle drum fill with a metronome. Okay? First, get good at this by playing slow, and then challenge yourself to play in a much faster speed. Okay? I always like to do this exercise by playing with the cymbals. Like instead of like playing with the toms, like I like to like do this playing with, on a cymbal. So I would just hit bass. This way you could improve your fluidity or the way you move around the kit. Yeah? So we could just develop yourself and know where things are. You see a cymbal that's back there? I mean, you're not gonna be doing this. I mean, try to just have your arm just stretch all the way over there, play it. Or like this, or if you have the cymbal, just make sure your arm just moves. So, I mean, we look bad when we just have to do this, or things are not on your reach. You have to get things closer. So, like, try to always do these exercises. I mean, that's a good one, I think. And number 13, step 13, learn difficult songs. Woo! What's the hardest song you guys know? The for drummers, the toughest one you might think of right now. How many of you guys have heard of Minstrels That Dance by Israel? Monday? Let's talk about, no, we're not worthy, huh? There is really difficult songs out there, but the most difficult one that you could think and that you love, I would encourage you to learn that one. Next, play along with the songs that, play along with these songs until you memorize them by heart. Oh my goodness, I'm going to kill myself after this presentation. Sorry, guys. If possible, learn the chops played in the album exactly how they are. Woo! If you're not able to do this, try at least try to like play something that's very similar to that. Yeah? I know it's like, it's super difficult sometimes to like learn everything like the way it is, and I know sometimes we struggle, but I mean, drummers, we need to develop good skills, and the only way to do it is to learn difficult songs. And if you want to learn the chop the way it is, there's always, somebody is always going to make a tutorial about it. There's always somebody who's going to make a tutorial, and they're going to say, this is not the exact way how they do it, but this is something similar. So at least learn that, because by learning difficult songs, I mean, it's going to improve yourself. It's going to improve your musicality. It's going to improve the way you flow on the drums. So I know some, not all of them, but I really wish I knew all of them. But I mean, there's one of my favorite songs is "You Made Me Glad" by Israel Houghton. Yeah. And my other favorite song, It's James Fortune's Never Again. How many of you guys have heard that one? It's ridiculous, insane. That the song is super, super insane. It's like, it's crazy. There's also one of my other favorite songs is Best Praise by James Fortune as well. How many of you guys heard that song? Yeah, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. It has so much going on the drums. And I would encourage you guys to, instead of always listening to the same music, try to push yourself to learn new and difficult stuff. So that's my advice. Next. Once memorized the way the song original is, try making your own spin-off. Okay? Once you guys master the way the song is played and you guys learn everything by heart, try making like your own little version of it. Yeah? So I would say I'm pretty good at this song, and I already learned the whole thing, so I want to make my own little drum fill in here. I want to make my own little drum break. I mean, I know he does it this way, but I just want to like, or do something different, Be creative, guys. So that's once you learn the songs. I think that's the last one, is it? Yeah. Thank you, brother. So what time is it, guys? What time do we have lunch? 12? Oh, okay. So if you guys want to, yes. Yes, if you guys want to like learn something fast, you guys have any questions, please feel free. Is there anything in particular you guys want to talk about? It sounded like somebody's rolling a China cymbal. Yeah. Yeah. The same way you just said. Okay. Guys, playing traditional grip, believe me, it just once you like switch back to match grip, you're gonna be a master at it. So just try playing everything with traditional grip, so that way you can get good at that. And once you go to match again, or to the way we play drums nowadays, you're gonna feel so much free to do it. So let me just give you an example. He just talked about ghost notes and a beat, so that's what I think that's what I'm gonna focus on right now. You guys wanna get up and get closer? Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and do it. If you guys want, pásenle. So the way is this close enough? Ghost notes are like, I would say, like little interruptions that happen before you do the stroke in a beat. The stroke that's so now I'm gonna play this in a traditional grip, and I'm just gonna switch back, okay? Because all of us are not really used to playing like this, right? In a traditional grip, we're always used to playing match. So like, I would just encourage you, just do exercises with traditional, do drum fills with traditional grip, and then at the end, try to do the same thing, but then just switch back, all right? And you're gonna see how faster you flow, how better you play. But I think this is the main key to like get better at this. So, you see my instinct, I just go like, so. do this. I would play triplets on each hand, which is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 on the left. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So do that as fast as you can on traditional grip, and then just switch back. Okay. Traditional grip, but like when you go back to, if you go back to the match, just go do everything with traditional grip first, and then try to incorporate everything with match. You want to try something? What do you want to? You want to try something? You guys want to? No? Okay. Is there something you guys want to learn in specific? Because we don't have this every day. We don't. When you have an open panel where you could actually like interact with the teacher, so I want you guys to take advantage of this. Double stroke on the bass drum. I use a heel toe technique. I don't know if you guys use it as well. If you guys use only like the tip of your foot just to do the double stroke. And it could flow faster. It could, I don't know if it's more productive to do like that. But when you do the heel toe, you can actually develop to do like more strokes. You can even go up to 4. You can even go up to 5. You can even do triplets. I've seen a drummer who he's been doing triplets like on in a really fast motion. So you have that option if you do the heel toe technique. But if you do the tip only. You can also do it the same way, but I mean, it's going to be a little bit harder, but you're going to develop I guess like a faster, or you can actually last longer than the heel toe, because the heel toe it gets you more tired. So if you guys want to get closer, Isaac, do we still have time? Or?
It's time already, but if you want to show this last thing, you know, it's fine with me.
Oh, well.
Es la conferencia de ustedes, así que ustedes.
Okay. So thank you. the basic thing for the heel toe technique, you're just gonna do this motion. You're gonna first press with your heel, not on the part where the pedal just goes forward, but you're gonna be doing this pressing on the, what do you call this, on the base of the, I don't know what you call this. Oh yeah, the heel rest. You're gonna go like this and go like this. You're gonna put your toes forward. And it's going to be creating like this, yeah, it's a motion that makes it automatically just makes the pedal go, play 2 strokes, okay? So it's going to look something like this.